systematic and scientific study of norms and values, which refers to the systematic and scientific study of social structures and institutions, including norms and values. So it refers to the systematic and scientific study of social structures and institutions, including norms and values. 19th century in Europe was an area of social turmoil. The various paradoxical changes in Europe इसने यही किया intellectual forces related to the origins of sociology discussed systematic and scientific study of social structures and institutions, including norms and forces, right? Including norms and values. The 19th century in Europe was an era of social turmoil. The various paradoxical changes in Europe stimulated. So it was an era of turmoil. It stimulated the minds of thinkers, stimulated the minds of thinkers. Intellectual forces. How did the intellectual forces which led to the emergence of sociology? According to T.B. Bottomore, 5 major intellectual forces that led to the emergence of sociology are political philosophy, philosophy of history, theory of organic evolution, movement of social and political reform, movement of social and political reform, and method of social survey. Movement of social and political reform, movement of social and political reform, and method of social survey. Movement of social and political reform and method of social survey. Movement of social and political reform and method of social survey. Had an indirect effect influence on sociology. So this had an indirect influence on sociology. This had an indirect influence on sociology. So it initiated modernity. So 19th century in Europe was an era of social changes in Europe stimulated the minds of thinkers which led to the emergence of sociology. 5 major political philosophy given by the likes of Rousseau and Montesquieu, which initiated modernity. Reason and individualism. Philosophy of history delves into big questions surrounding our understanding of past. Philosophy of history delves into big questions, questioning our understanding surrounding. So it ventures beyond just what happened and why and how, beyond what happened and into why and how. So it ventures beyond just kya hua, what happened, into why and how. So beyond just what happened, into why and how. So it ventures beyond just what happened into why it happened and how it happened. So it ventures beyond just what happened into why and how it happened. So it ventures beyond just what happened into why and how it happened, right? Theory of organic evolution. Darwin's organic evolution was applied in the context of society. So Darwin's organic evolution was applied in the context of society by Spencer. So Darwin's organic evolution was applied. Darwin's organic evolution was applied in the context of society by Spencer. Movement of social and political reform movements. So they advocating for social change and social justice and change. So the various movement of social and political reform. So the movements for social and political reform that were advocating for social justice and change fueled the need to understand the root cause. It fueled the need to understand the root cause. So it fueled the need to understand the root cause. So it fueled the need to understand the root cause. So the movement of social and political, the movements for reform, they fueled the need to understand the root cause leading to कि हो क्यों रही है, right? So the movements for social and political reform, the movements for social and political reform, the movements for social reform movements जो हैं for reform, they fueled the need to understand the root cause leading to research and analysis characteristic of sociology. It led to research and analysis characteristic of sociology. So it led to research and analysis characteristic of sociology. So it led to research and analysis characteristic of sociology. So it led to research and analysis. Method of social survey, it provided the data and methodology, while sociology refined surveys, technology and used. So sociology, it used the findings to advance its own theoretical understandings, right? Sociologists, they employed them to study social trends and phenomena like suicide, to study social trends and phenomena, like suicide. These intellectual forces did not operate in isolation. They interacted with each other and with the social context of time. So they did not operate in isolation. They interacted with each other and with the social context of time, giving rise to different theoretical perspectives and approaches within sociology. So these intellectual forces, they did not operate in isolation. They interacted with each other. So these forces, they did not operate in isolation. They interacted with each other and with the social context of time. Political philosophy, philosophy of history, movement for change, biological evolution, theory of organic evolution and method of social survey. So they interacted with each other and with the social context of the time, giving rise to different theoretical perspectives and approaches within sociology, giving rise to different theoretical perspectives and approaches within sociology. perspectives and approaches within sociology. The next one is European Renaissance and Enlightenment. To make sense of modernity, which was a result of European Renaissance. है ना? आई थिंक मुझे तो ये इसका आंसर लग रहा है. What aspects of enlightenment do you think paved the way for sociology? The aspect of enlightenment like emphasis on reason, rationality, examination of social institutions, emphasis on reason, rationality, critical examination of social institutions, individual rights and freedoms, examination of social institutions, emphasis on reason and rationality, critical examination of social institutions, reason, rationality, critical evaluation of social institutions, reason, rationality, individual rights and freedoms, human progress and social change, human progress and social change, rationalism and empiricism, evolution of social theory. Human progress and social change. social change. Okay. Enlightenment में क्या 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 rationality, social institutions, rights and freedoms. I gave it 16, 17, right? Emphasis on reason and rationality. Critical examination of social institutions. So emphasis on reason and rationality. Critical examination of social institutions. Reason and rationality. Emphasis on reason and rationality. Critical examination of social institutions. Human progress and social change. Evolution of social theory. Enlightenment emphasized reason, which influenced early sociologists to adopt scientific approach to studying the society. Scientific approach. Enlightenment ने कहा reason which influenced early sociologists to adopt a scientific approach to studying society. Reason which influenced them to adopt a scientific approach to studying society, which influenced them to adopt a scientific approach to the studying of society, which influenced them to the studying of society, which influenced them first or second hour के बीच में it took me almost 5 minutes, and that was not a rest, that was trying to fix the system. A lot of time is getting wasted, but this is the last time I've found a solution now. Right, so emphasis on reason and rationality. Enlightenment emphasized reason, which influenced the early sociologists to adopt scientific approach to the studying of society. So it emphasized reason, which influenced reason. So enlightenment, it emphasized reason. So enlightenment, it emphasized reason. Enlightenment emphasized reason. Francis Bacon's empiricism, Locke's political philosophy. Francis Bacon, empiricism, is it a part of enlightenment? Are Francis Bacon's empiricism, Locke's political philosophy. And Locke's political philosophy? So basically in sociology, I am writing the first point as what enlightenment aspect paved the way for sociology, as enlightenment stressed on reason, right? Which influenced early sociologists to adopt a scientific study to studying approach to studying society, right? And now it's like I want to tell what aspect and this enlightenment and sociology. So in sociology I'm focusing on because I'm saying that it influenced the early sociologists to adopt a scientific approach. I am focusing on Auguste Comte's positivism. With respect to enlightenment, can I mention Locke's political philosophy here? Then critical examination of social institutions, advocated for secular learning and new political order. Secular learning and new political order. So critical examination of social institutions. This helped in shaping foundational sociological lens. So this helped in shaping foundational sociological lens. So it helped in shaping the lens. Rousseau and Montesquieu advocated for secular learning and a new political order. So they advocated for secular learning. They advocated for secular learning and a new political order. So they advocated for secular learning and a new political order. So they advocated for secular learning and new political order, individual rights and freedoms. पहला पॉइंट है रीजन वाला, दूसरा सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, रूसो और मेंटेस्क्यू कि हमें सेकुलर लर्निंग चाहिए और न्यू पॉलिटिकल ऑर्डर. थर्ड इज इंडिविजुअल राइट्स एंड फ्रीडम्स. Ibn Khaldun, 14th century work. Ibn Khaldun's 14th century work. Proceed. Social cohesion and dynamics. Ibn Khaldun's 14th century work. So Ibn Khaldun's 14th century work. Sociology is not just a response to this socio मगर यार ये criticism है. I don't understand. Post-colonial critique. Stein and Edward Said highlight sociology's Eurocentric bias. So they highlight the Eurocentric bias. So they highlight Eurocentric bias. So they highlight Eurocentric bias. I don't understand certain things in this, but चलो कोई बात नहीं. Revolution and Enlightenment period. When the question says, what are the intellectual forces that led to the emergence of sociology? Quote T.B. Bottom-Moore in this and tell me, is it just T.B. Bottom-Moore, or we can mention Industrial Revolution, French Revolution also? Intellectual ideas or currents changes in the ideas and thinking. Events that led to changes in the ideas and thinking. Events that led to changes. Renaissance. So write down Renaissance. Period of artistic, scientific and cultural growth. For the people of Europe that redefined the understanding of art, philosophy, literature and science. That ushered in humanism, individualism and secularism. The period of artistic, scientific and cultural growth. TSL याद है? That ushered in humanism, individualism and secularism. So art, science, literature, philosophy. What is humanism? So humanism, way of thinking that questioned the teachings of Catholic Church. And focused on humans. Their experiences, abilities and achievements. Just religious or divine matters. Religious or divine matters. How much is it charged? So instead of just religious or divine matters. Focused on humans. Human potential, creativity, individuality, their experiences, abilities, achievements. Abilities and achievements. Their experiences, abilities and achievement. Middle Ages. characterized by the Christian view of humans as sinful? जिसके अराउंड रिवॉल्व करेगा सेलिब्रेट भी तो उसी को करेंगे ना. लिटरेचर में शेक्सपियर. Michelangelo, Shakespeare. Biblical hero David. William Shakespeare, Hamlet. Francisco Petrarch. Poems called sonnets. Michelangelo, William Shakespeare, Francisco Petrarch. Michelangelo, William Shakespeare and Francisco Petrarch. So Michelangelo, William Shakespeare, and Francisco Petrarch. Michelangelo, Petrarch. Shakespeare. So Shakespeare, okay. So Michelangelo. Hamlet, Francisco Petrarch का. Sonnets, William Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci. Studying anatomy, Leonardo da Vinci. Then scientific revolution is a period. Then comes your Renaissance over. Yes. रेनेसा के बाद